What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. So let's go ahead and get into Our Kind of People. This is season 1, episode 11. It is not light we need, but fire. So if you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of TV shows. Also, I do like some pop culture type stuff, commentary. So if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thumbs up the video, hit the notification bell, all of that type of stuff, so you are well aware of when my next video comes out. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. So the episode starts off with Angela going over, or Angela's being in the Franklin compound. Teddy walks in and sees her. She tells him that she needs his help because Aunt Peggy went and turned herself in. Now she knows that he helped her cover up for that murder back in the day, and he helped Nate get out of jail, super fast. So she wants his help to get Peggy out. He tells her that he will, on one condition. He tells her that he will also set up a trust fund for Nikki, so she won't need anything. That he will give her seed money for Eve's Crown so she can do her own distribution and her company can thrive and all this other type of stuff, on condition that she leaves the island. He wants her to leave right away. And then Angela is just kind of like, your disappointment. She says that how, for all these years, she just wanted to know who her father was, to be back in her father's good graces, that she almost even fell for his, whatever, trying to get close to him. But now she sees he's just a disappointment, and she tells him, I'll think about it. So later that night, she's up and she's working to look like a braid wig, and the music is loud. She's drinking, and Nate comes downstairs, and it's like, it's late. It's 3:00. Like, what's going on? And she's telling him how some people count sheep when they can't sleep. She counts braids. So she's like drinking, knocking them back, kind of stumbling around, but not too bad. And Nate just kind of tells her that, I know that you're trying to get revenge for what happened to your mother, and that's normal. No one is thinking, that what you're doing is not normal, but the biggest revenge would be you doing well and pushing her name forward that way. So Eve's Crown is named after your mom. It's your mom's namesake. So take the time to focus on your company. Do this, because sometimes stewing in revenge and stewing in trying to, clear someone's good name, sometimes it ends up making you sick and it can drive you crazy, which is what it's kind of doing to Angela at this point. So we see Raymond and Teddy. So they're having breakfast, and Raymond is basically gloating at the fact that he got the shares to Darman back. And he's like, because that means that I now own the shares. It's a matter of time before I get the company back. Teddy is like, this is why I eat, my breakfast upstairs in my suite. Because, he don't want to deal with the peasantry of it all. But Raymond goes in and tells Teddy how he's weak. You act like you're this big bad man, but you hide any signs of weakness because you don't ever want to appear weak. And he tells him that, you even hid your wife away because she has an illness. He was like, and then look at you. And I said, don't do that. That is rude. But he is like, he's right though. Like, Teddy tries so hard to make it seem like he's this perfect man. He's full of strength and power and just exudes everything like that, when like you're really a coward, because you do take people and kind of lock them away if they don't fit into this mold of what perfect image that you're trying to portray. So Teddy tells him, you may own the shares, okay, but I still own the company. Keep that in mind. Take that to the bank and cash it. So then we have Leah and Raymond. So they're talking about how they're talking about Angela. And Raymond is just kind of telling her, like, I know you feel bad for, treating your sister the way that you have. And Leah's like, you don't have to say it that way, but Leah does. Because we know that Leah has formed this bond with Angela because she sees that Angela's not a bad person. Angela's not trying to tear down the family. Angela doesn't want the family's money. Angela really just wants to know what happened to her mother. And she has every right to know. I do feel like Angela is doing the absolute most at this point, but she wants to avenge her mother's death. Let her avenge her mother's death. And Teddy just tells her, like, you keep thinking that everything your father's doing to protect you, he's literally only trying to protect himself. And Angela is like, no, he's doing all of this to protect me and protect the family. And Raymond is like, well, I got the shares to Darman, so why don't you quit Franklin Holding and come work at Darman with me as partners? And she's like, it's not that easy. He was like, it can be. It really can be. So we see Nikki's on the phone with Taylor. They're on FaceTime. And Nikki tells Taylor that she loves her. And, like, they're talking about how everything is stressful. She wants to see her later. So before they get off the phone, she tells her, I love you. And Taylor was like, oh, babe, I gotta go. And rushes her off the phone. We hear Lauren say, well, that's awkward. So Taylor and Lauren are back hooking up together. And Taylor was like, I want to be with you. We have a bond. I should have never. Because my whole thing is like, Taylor really was just kind of like smitten with Nikki. She was mad at Lauren for how Lauren was acting towards Nikki initially. So that's how that went. Taylor's heart has always been with Lauren. And Taylor is like, I need to call her and break up with her. Lauren is like, don't do that. We formed this bond as cousins. I like her. I don't want her to get, super, super hurt in this process. And so Taylor is like, what is this? I thought you wanted us to be back together. Lauren is like, I do, but I'm trying to be nice. You said to be nice to her. And Taylor is like, it's crazy how being nice is like making me feel like shit, basically. And my whole thing is, while I want to feel sorry for Nikki, I can't. Nikki, you started messing with your cousin's girlfriend. What did you expect was going to happen? Why didn't you think that you would just be like a little fling for Taylor? So, whatever. So, Leah comes over to Angela's house, and Angela is just on some, I know why you voted me out, because your daddy told you to. And Leah was like, I'm trying to protect my mother. My mother was going to get hurt by all the digging that you're doing, trying to find out stuff about, your mother. And Angela is like, be thankful that you have your mother. She's alive and well and healthy. You're super lucky for that, because I had to bury my mother's ashes. You know what I mean? Kind of on some cherish your mother. But then Angela also tells her, stop pretending that we have this sister bond. Stop pretending that, you were really trying to be there for me. Tell your daddy I'll take the money and I'll leave. And Leah didn't know anything about the money. And she was like, well, you kind of know now. So Leah looks like completely depleted, but she does turn and leave. And my whole thing is like, I feel sorry for Leah, because you can tell that she is being manipulated by her dad. And I know that so many people are like, well, she's grown and she should know. There's a difference, though, when you have somebody who, her father's kind of all she has had, like, in the mental capacity. So she's not looking at the fact that her dad might be, getting over on her. Like, she's really conflicted. So then you have Aunt Peggy. She comes in the house, and she said the police let her go. And they let her go because for a crime that's been, ongoing for 30 years ago, they got to find the body. And until they find the body, she's free to go. But she says she wants to give herself a going away party. A big party to celebrate it, because once they find the body, then, she's definitely going to, once they find the body, then she's definitely going to, go to jail. So they agree to have this big ass bash, going away party. So Leah, back over at the Franklin compound, Leah got her mama in the house. So her mother looks clean now. Her hair looks nice. She's dressed. She's talking coherently. And I'm like, okay, finally we can see this woman, not doped up on medication. So Teddy comes in and he's big mad. Big man. So he asked to speak to Leah to the side, and he's like, what is your mom doing here? And Angela kind of tells him, I want my mother to be here. You said you were doing all of this to protect her from Angela. Angela's leaving. Now, you done took my sister away from me. Don't take my mother. That's kind of the least you can do. Because Angela is kind of seeing that Teddy's kind of trying to isolate her to where she only trusts him, and that's going to come as a detriment to her. So Teddy looks mad, and I'm like, something's about to happen. This is not going to go well. Whatever. So then we have Tariq and Raymond. They're sitting down talking, and Raymond is thanking Tariq for getting him the paperwork. And they're talking about Franklin Holdings. So Tariq tells him that, that one company, Legacies or something, that you were trying to get into, I got the password to Franklin Holdings because I'm working with Teddy now to build these suites out. I can do some backdoor mess and I can get up in there for you. And then Raymond kind of tells Tariq, go on and get your woman back because she got her ex living up in the house. You got a lot of work to do, Brody. So Tariq is like, I messed up. I'm going to try to get her back, as best as I can. So Quentin, who is the boy twin who all of a sudden now has lines, he is talking to Sloan, who is the maid's granddaughter who's there for the summer. And, they like each other. They're like secretly dating. And they're sitting around and Lauren comes in and it's like, so such and such's purse is missing. It's ox blood in color. It's super rare. Do you know anything about it? And Sloan is like, oh, so let's just automatically blame the maid's granddaughter. Why would I steal the purse? And she kind of gets up in Sloan's face and it's like, I know, you don't know my brother and, you don't belong with us and want, like trying to like get big with her. And Sloan was like, well, tell Taylor I like her new shoes. I saw her I saw when you walked her out. And Lauren was like, you're spying on me? She was like, no, I'm cleaning. I was working. However, people like you never notice people like me. So while I'm actually doing my job, you're looking right past me. Now, unless you want me to let Nikki know what's good, I advise you to get out of my face. She was like, Quentin don't know your business, so I need you to stay out of his. And I said, all right, Sloan, because I'm sick of Lauren. I am really sick of Lauren. So we see Teddy calls one of his security guards in. I think his name was Booker. But he calls him in and he tells him that he needs him to look into Jack's death. See what you can find out. Because that way it'll start Raymond from getting the full control of the company, because now it's going to be a death investigation, which kind of puts Raymond at the forefront of it. And then he gives him a check and says, I need you to take this over to Eve's Crown. Be discreet. Be discreet about everything, but this is what I need you to do. So Leah is sitting with her mother, and she's trying on a dress because she brought her mother back to help out with the Grey City's induction week. And Angela tells her mother that, Lord, there's so many names, y'all. I was right. Leah tells her mother that, Angela should have been there. It should have been one more Grey City, being inducted. And she starts to ask her mother, about Eve and all this happened. And her mother just kind of tells her, I'm sorry that the stuff that me and your father did in the past has caused all of this trouble for you now. But that's not what we were trying to do. You know what I mean? So they have this moment. She's able to have her mother, coherent and speak freely with her. And it also kind of shows that her mother can talk about Angela and not get hyped up and all that other stuff like Teddy was making it seem, because she's not, doped up full of medication again. So we see Tariq shows up to Peggy's party. They in there doing the wobble. And Peggy brings Tariq over to Angela. They're talking. They're trying to figure everything out. And she apologizes and says that because of her and her lying about these secrets and stuff like that, that has caused them to have this growing rift between the two of them. And Tariq is like, nah, I'm not even going to let you take accountability for that. It's me. It's on me. It's, this is all my fault, but I'm going to make it up to her and all this other type of stuff. And then we see Nate kind of looking depleted and sad because Nate still has this fire for Angela. Because remember, they were together and then he ended up just getting arrested. So who knows if he wouldn't have gotten arrested if they would have still been together. So while they're at the party, this old man comes in. And I said, I know that's not Darius. Lo and behold, it is Darius. So Darius said that after Peggy stabbed him, he passed out. It was during that time that she had Teddy help her. Teddy told her that he died and that buried the body out there. Meanwhile, Darius was like, nope, I passed out, and we thought it would be a better way to help get you clean. So that was why we told you that I was dead, and he put you into rehab. You got yourself clean. I got myself clean. And he told me that you went to go turn yourself in. So it was time for me to resurface and come straight here to tell you so that you can see me with your own eyes. And I'm like, I'll be damned. So that's what Teddy has been. That's why Teddy don't want them there. That's why he don't want them there. So we see Quentin goes into Lauren's room and it's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so rude? Lauren tells her brother, you only like this girl because she's poor and that doesn't make sense. You don't have, tells her that you don't have real relationships. You drop girls after 2 years and I'm your twin and I know what's best for you. And he's on some, just because we twins, you not my mama. And he kind of tells her, there's something wrong with you. And like, that's not what you want to hear from somebody. Like, nobody wants to have anybody tell them it's something wrong with you, because it makes you feel like, okay, maybe it is. But this is also, becoming a growing trend with Lauren, where everyone is telling her something's wrong with you. You're mean, you're rude. And it's making her take pause, because now it's coming from somebody who she loves the most, who is her brother, her twin. So Leah goes to check on her mother. Oh, wait. Angela texts Teddy a thank you, right? And tells him that she's getting ready to leave. As he's walking through the house, he sees his wife out, has some music playing. She's listening to the music. He goes out, apologizes to her for everything. Tells her that he wants his family to work and he's going to work on doing all this stuff. And they dance. Now, Leah sees this as she's walking by. Takes a moment. She kind of looks a little suspicious on it. Rock eyebrow. Or the people's eyebrow. And then she turns and then she leaves. So the next morning, Leah goes to check on her mother. And it's like, I'm surprised you're still in bed. You're not up yet. Sees that her mother is dead. Right? So she's like panicking. She looks at the pillow next to her. Sees lipstick on the pillow. Realizes that her mother got smothered last night. Teddy done killed his wife. All because he doesn't want whatever secrets there are to unearth. Teddy, what did you do? Like, it's coming to like, what did you do? So Leah is like, because I think now is all starting to settle into her that I've been really thinking all this time that my father might be this great man, might be this good man that's really been down for me, that's been trying to protect me, that's been trying to do all this other stuff. And it's really coming down to, he's not really down for me. He's really only down for himself. So next scene is we're getting ready for the funeral. Quentin is talking to Sloane. And Lauren comes out and is like, can I talk to my brother? She's visibly upset. She's crying. And Quentin was like, no, Sloane, you don't have to go nowhere. She hands her brother his jacket. She was expecting to be the one to, like, put it on. And then he, like, takes it from her and has Sloane put it on. That cuts her to her core. So she runs out. Sloane tells Quentin, I'll see you after the service, because she has to set up for the repast with her grandmother. So we see Darius and Peggy. They're at like a little restaurant, and he's just kind of telling her that, once again, he's sorry for everything that happened, but he's doing good in life. She's doing, he sees that she's doing good. She was able to get clean. And then he gives her a gun and says that back in the day, Teddy showed up to his house, him and his wife. And this was before they were inducted into like that upper society. And he gave him the gun. He said he didn't know what it meant, but he just kept it all these years. He said, but he has something on Angela, so maybe this will help protect y'all. So basically, whatever he got on Angela, y'all got this gun that's on him because he clearly used it on somebody. So we see Angela sitting in her room, and Nikki comes in and is like, why aren't you dressed? And tells her that you need to go and be there for your sister. Like, you guys are still sisters, whether you see eye to eye with her or not. So, like, you can, like, go support her. She's going to need that support. So, while Leah's getting dressed, she sees a letter in her room, and it's basically her mother telling her that she loves being able to have spent the last couple moments with her. And so I'm like, so did she smother herself? Because it seemed like a suicide letter. But she kind of tells her, get from under your father's thumb. Don't keep doing everything he tells you to, because he's not necessarily looking out for your best interest the way that you think he is. It's really on some, I'm trying to look out for myself and what I want to do. And he's playing her as a pawn, like Raymond has told her time and time again. So Teddy comes in and knocks on the door so they can go to the service. And we see Leah take the letter, hurry up and put it back in her drawer. And we see that she has the pillow. So she's keeping the pillow kind of as evidence. So while they're walking out, Teddy gets a phone call from his security guard that he has, trying to find out about Jack's death. And he tells him several women saw Jack slip your wife a key to his bungalow the day that he died. So now it's kind of implicating that Leah has something to do with Jack's death when we know that she didn't. So we get to the funeral. It's super sad. Teddy got the nerve to get up there and give this speech. Miss me with it. And then Raymond's mother, who was good friends with Rose, Leah's mother, leads the Gracie-D's and said that they're going to sing a song. We go into straight traditional black funeral, and they sing Precious Lord. And then at the end, we see Leah talking to her mother about how she is the strongest person she has ever known. She was never weak or anything. And as she looks up, she sees Angela, who is dressed. She looks up and she sees Angela standing behind, and she turns and runs to her, and Angela just opens her arms because she knows that her sister needs her. So, like, Angela, you can tell that Angela and Leah, they want to be sisters. They have this bond. Angela has, buried her mother within the past year, so she understands where she's coming from. And y'all, Teddy had the audacity to try to turn, and Leah and Angela put up their hand, no. Which meant, do not come over here with us. Don't come be around me. Don't talk to me. I am solely here for my sister. And I think the fact that Angela was there, it sends a message kind of to everybody else that she's not the bad person that y'all are thinking. And that's coming from, Raymond's mother being there, Lauren, Quinton, Raymond, everybody else can see Angela's not on no bullshit with y'all. She really just wants to know what happened to my mother. Why was she set up? Why did she have to be, a casualty that caused me to not, know who my father is? So Angela gets home and she's telling Peggy about how, the type of crying and wailing that people do at a funeral is it's gut-wrenching. It's a different type of crying. And then Peggy shows her the gun and tells her that Darius said that Teddy gave it to him back in the day. So they're like, well, who did he use it on? And Angela said, well, I'm going to find out. And then I'll leave the island. So that was it. Next week is the season finale. It has not been picked up for a season 2. It did not get a back half. So I'm hoping if the show does not come back on Fox, I'm hoping that it gets picked up by OWN. I think it'll do super, super good there. Just like Greenleaf and Queen Sugar. Probably should have been on OWN from jump, but I think it'll do way better there. But if you have not already, go ahead, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys in the next one.